Hello everyone and welcome. So in this video I'm going to share a few tips and tricks that I learned while working on the simple project. I'm saying it's simple, but it turned out to be a bit more complex than I wanted. But yeah, let's check out some of those workflows. So after setting up the basic animation of the straw opening, like a straw rig, I'm trying to mesh this, and I think I could use the skin node, but another trick that I learned from the CGWiki Discord is to use the sweep only connected to the second input, and as you can see, that will output the geometry. And after doing the UVs and calculating the normals, we get the proper geometry. So I don't think this is very usual, and it's a nice trick to know. So just second input and default settings. Another thing to have in mind is you need to close implicit backbone, otherwise you will have an open mesh, as you can see. So yeah, for the second one, so as you can see, we have a very basic animation in here and we have no secondary motion. So in here, I have transformed the geometry into a simple line so I can do some deformation on it. The first thing I do is use an attributes noise vector to change the position a bit, to noise up the position with animation, as you can see. But I wanted like a stop motion effect. So for that, I'm using a SOP solver. So as you can see, if I enable this and run, as you can see, it's just doing this stop motion effect. And it's not happening randomly, it's happening when the straw is opening those little things. I don't know what they called. So like the accordion thing. So I recorded the frames where that happens, and then in a subsolver, I'm just finding that frame and lerping between the animation, the animated geometry, which I'm copying the position from the second input, and between the previous frames. So that gives us this stop motion effect. But another trick I wanted to show you is that this is still very static. I need to add some twist to it. So what we can do, and this trick I learned from Igor on the CGWiki Discord, you can add like a spring solver using Vellum. So this runs really fast, and you get this sort of effect of some sort of spring effect, as you can see. And the way I'm doing that is by using the Vellum constraint set to pin to targets, set your stiffness, and add some damping ratio, and then just use a solver, which I just remove the gravity, and we get this spring-like effect. So now we need to pass this to our animated geometry, to our mainstream, because right now it's just this simple animation. So what we can do is to use a point deform. And if you check, we have the static geo. And I'm not using only a curve to do the point deform to fit the rest and the animated pose. I'm using a sweep with the same amount of same radius as the original geometry, so that way the point deform has an easier time deforming the geometry. As you can see, I'm sweeping both the rest and the animated geometry, and that way it's much easier for the point deform to do the calculations, I mean. And as you can see, we now have the secondary animation added to our main animation. So what else? The final tip is on how I did the texturing for this straw. So it's not as easy as it might looks. So I ended up relying on OpenCL. And what did I do in here? So if we look at the destination, we have these black and white strips. And for that, I am using the UV, I'm using the P as a UV map. So this is just like a UV map in texture space. Then I'm creating this pattern just by using thin of the Y component of the UVs multiplied by the repetitions and pi. So we have a perfect tiling pattern, as you can see. The repetitions, I set it to 80, I can set it to 20 or less or something, but in this case I used 80. Then I'm calculating also an index for each stripe. And for that, I can use the floor of the Y component of the UVs multiplied by the repetitions. Then I'm importing the random header that side effects provides. For OpenCL, I am using the random11 function and feeding that index. That way, I can have a random value per strip. Then I'm just multiplying that by the pattern, so I can easily color it next. So it will always be this color on the, I want it to be always white on the background, let's say. I'm also doing a transform in here, just rotate it 45 degrees, and that's my albedo, and I'm feeding that to a preview material. And as you can see, we have our animation. So yeah, guys, that was basically it. You can find the full project on my Patreon. I'm gonna be sharing how I did all of this. It might be, there's a lot of facts involved, but hopefully you'll find it useful. And if you have any questions, you can always ask me. So yeah, thank you for watching. As always, don't forget to check out the project files on Patreon and the exclusive videos I have on there. And thank you all for all the Patreon supporters that I have that have been helping me along the journey. So thank you.